Hey, welcome to Cosmic Kev 100, your weekly astro video zine. Please subscribe, please hit the bell notification. Going to do a few quick mantras and prayers, and we're going to get into the forecast for this week, November 22nd through the 28th, 2024. Om, Om, Om. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Brahma Miras Triparan Takare, Vanushashi Bami Sito, Buddhasha Gurusha Shukra, Shani Rahu Keteva, Sarve Graha Shanti Kara Bhavantu. Om Hrim Gurave Namaha, Om Hrim Shukraya Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya. Well, greetings and welcome to another episode of Cosmic Kev 100. And like I said earlier, I'd love it for you to subscribe, hit the bell notification. I love your comments. Keep them coming. I just appreciate all of you. It's going to give a shout out to Shant, over to Shelby over in Santa Cruz, cousin Erica in Post Falls, Idaho, to my friend Sarah in Encinitas, and all my Chico peeps. You know, you are appreciated. I'm wishing a happy birthday to Jim Brobeck today, who is turning 74. Woo! Yeah! Keep on staying on the earth. And, you know, to all my friends out there. Anyhow, what we've got today is we've got a moon just entered into the constellation of Leo. And it's going to be in Virgo at 3 p.m. in Western tradition, but it'll be in Leo constellation all weekend. And so today, the moon for Friday, the 22nd, in the lunar mansion known as Maga. And Maga is ruled by Ketu, the south node of the moon. This rules our intuition. Its ruling deity is with the Petries. That's our ancestors. So a lot of ancestral stuff is trying to be worked out here. And so that's part of what's going on in this. It is kind of weird or interesting that Donald Trump's rising sign is Maga Nakshatra. And I mean, in that, whatever, you know, you think about him, I mean, I hear, like, you know, a lot of people have compared him to Hitler and things like that, but I kind of see him a little more anti-war than that, and not necessarily a discriminator of people based on race. And so it's just like, I'm not saying that he's good for the country. I'm not saying that he's not greedy or all kinds of other interesting things. But I think when we fearmonger, we're not helping ourselves. Because what it is that any challenge that presents ourselves is an opportunity to rise up and be better within us. And so we might be a lot more innovative or creative than we give ourselves credit. And to have like Big Brother or Big Sister, Big Father or Big Mother monitoring our every mood in society may not be the way to have sincere, organic relationship. And it's like, hopefully we support each other. Like if somebody's in trouble, that we're going to help them. You know, that's the real deal. Are we good neighbors? Are we good in our own soul? Are we creating peace within our own life to give out to others? And, you know, that's where things come down to it. Now, Maga Nakshatra is the throne room, and it's like you all are royalty. And I think if enough of you trace back your lineage, you'll find your royalty. You know, most people are like 25% of the males born in Northwest Ireland are supposedly related to Prince O'Neill. And I mean, now with DNA stuff, you can find out who you are on the lineage, and I guess most people all the people that were presidents are related to the Queen in some ways, or to English royalty. So MAGA's like this big deal, and the throne room is also MAGA's about the spine. Leo, it's like straighten up your spine, and always that reminds me of like when Krishna was talking to Arjuna in Mahabharata. He said, straighten up your bow. This is a rough thing that you're fighting your family, but it kind of needs to be done in this situation. Otherwise, horrible stuff is going to happen. And a lot of times we're not ready for the truth, or we'll do anything we can to remove it from ourselves if it affects a previous belief. And that's really hard. And I'm like that too. Life is humbling, and I'm always learning new things. But I find that the people that teach through bullying or name calling or very kind of ugly descriptions, they're not really helping their cause any, because like actions attract like actions. So words are like spells, and the spell I want to give, the prayer I want to give, is that you have your best life, and that there's going to be ancestral healing for you this weekend. Now, Moon's going to move into Purva Falguni on Saturday, and it's going to be there most of Sunday too before it goes into Uttara Falguni, and so there's sort of like this celebration of life. That's a Venus ruled nakshatra, and we're heading into this like greater celebration. Now, when we look at Western astrology, we just had Pluto go back into Aquarius. And it's like, the thing I've noticed about Western Aquarius is that they honor all peoples. They like the weirdos. Nobody has to agree with their politics. They kind of like to play devil's advocate more. They're not, I think sometimes, unless they're in a mentally ill place, then they're like in a corner and, they're going through their crazy time. And it's just like, most of our fears are imaginary, people. They're not real. And sometimes we have to tell ourselves that, it's like, it's never too late to love. Love is never wasted. And you can do like how smart you are, but if you're thinking how smart you are, you're up here. You're not in here. If you stay in here, you're going to be okay. With this moon in Vedic Leo this weekend, it's all about being here. So this is our Love Fest day. This is our time to heal our heart. Now, on the other horizon, we've got Mercury retrograde coming on Monday. And I know this is like the most traveled weekend in America, United States of America, that is. And so Monday at, oh goodness gracious, at 6:42 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Mercury goes retrograde, stations retrograde in 22 degrees Sagittarius. So if you got anything at 22 degrees Sagittarius or 22 degrees in a mutable sign, that's probably something worth looking at. There might be something there for you, something revealing, something that, a place where maybe adjustments need to be made. Otherwise, I would say that, it's also interesting that in Vedic astrology, this Mercury is stationing retrograde in a Mercury-ruled nakshatra known as Jyeshta. And Jyeshta is about the oldest, and it's about earning things through merit. And it's about achievement, and that you get into a position of authority or more responsibility through achievement. And there's a real strength because Jyeshta is ruled by Indra, the god of gods, who will never give up in a fight. So no matter what happens, we need to kind of like relinquish something and just kind of let it go. And, like today's Maga Nakshatra is the first K2 ruled nakshatra we've had since the moon was in Ashvini. Oh gosh, what was that, probably about nine or 10 days ago. And so we're on a place, and the time before that, the K2 ruled nakshatra was Mula on the election Tuesday. So it's like we're working on a healing. It's really what's going on with all the K2 nakshatras. And so as long as we focus on the healing, we become solution oriented. If we're overwhelmed by our problems, then we become kind of like a decaying pollution. So uplift yourself, encourage each other. That's really what this is all about. So we're going to go sign by sign really quick this week. Greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. You know, Sun went into Sagittarius yesterday. So let's make sure we have that right. And Sagittarius key phrase is I see or I visualize. And, you know, your vision's gotten broader. Sun is no longer debilitated in Vedic Libra. It's in Vedic or sidereal Scorpio. And so things are kind of like functioning better. And any issues you have with your father or your teachers are more likely to come out. And this is a good time for travel. And, you know, Mars is still, you know, in Leo, in the 5th house. And so any kind of problems you've had with your children or whatever, particularly male children, you know, that's going to be looked at and needs to be addressed. Okay, greetings Taurus and welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, Venus is in Capricorn, that's in the 9th house. It's a house of good fortune. It kind of relates to your father and his creative abilities, or teachers that taught you art, or traveling to other cultures to look at their art or their architecture or their music or their beauty. And it's a time to kind of experiment and get a little bit exotic and, you know, looking at other people's religions and beliefs, women in other cultures, how they deal with things. All of this is a great subject for this week. And this weekend is a good weekend for you to just kind of be in your heart, celebrate life, man. It's going to be fun. It's a good weekend for Taurus. But I would say, you know, as far as like Thanksgiving, it's going to be about your partner, you know, because the moon's going to be in Scorpio in Western astrology. And, you know, like I said, the Mercury retrograde thing, you know, Mercury rules travel. And, you know, you got to expect delays. You got to be ready for anything because it's not going direct till December 15th. So just kind of, I say, go slow, go thoughtful, go deep. Greetings, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. So, yeah. Danger, Will Robinson, Mercury going retrograde. You know, you want to hear that. Danger, danger, danger. You know, for those of us who are earlier Gen Xers, Gen Jonesers, you know, maybe some of the mid-range boomers. You watch Lost in Space, man, and it was like there was this robot that was like that was the first AI telling us what to do. Danger, Will Robinson. I mean, for you, it's like, look at your partnership. Partnership takes commitment, and it takes consistency, and it takes appreciation. And even work, if you're doing, your skill is communication, better diplomacy. It all comes down to more love. It comes down to positivity. And speak what you want in your relationships. And that's what it's all about this week for you. Greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. And it's also kind of about your love life, too, because Venus is in Capricorn. I think it's like now it's moving through the Purva Falguni, which is nakshatra, which is like a Venus ruled nakshatra. So I think like your love life has a chance of recovering. You got to be a little bit kinder with your words. I mean, this whole Mars in your 2nd house thing, it's like it's easy for people to be aggressive. That means online. I don't know. There's so many of you out there that online, you guys are kind of like bully, miserable personalities. You would never communicate that way in person or to my face. I just know it because you would see some nuance and you would understand it. But, you know, you get in that, I don't know if it's a linear world, but you start to fall into black and white thinking. And I'm like, God, we're organic beings. We are not black and white thinkers. There is no good team, bad team. There's good decisions and there's poor decisions. But everyone's part of the human condition and capable of them. Imagine that. This weekend's good to be in the neighborhood, you know. Okay, greetings Leo, welcome to your horoscope. So, you know, you start out Friday, moon's in Leo in both systems. So Friday, And that's a really, this whole Maga Nakshatra is actually a very creative nakshatra too. Because it's got those abilities to trust, when you're creating something. Like last night, Anna, my fiance, told me, write it down, make a song. And so I made up this really simple song, because I hadn't written a song in a while and I wanted to go back to that. But it's just like, it was really, the song's about trust, and it could become a sing-along. I don't know. I don't want to play it this week. But let's get to that place, where we trust each other. And for Leo, especially like if you're early, like a July Leo, now that Pluto's moved into your 7th house, it's like, whoa. Relationship stuff is heavy, and it's going to change your life. So, but Sagittarius time is fun. And if you're having fun with your kids, people in high mountain areas in Northern California, Pacific Northwest, you could easily be snowed in or can't get away from flooding or whatever and different consequences. And that's okay, relax, rest with it, be where you're at, and, make art, be innovative, do good things. Greetings, Virgo, and welcome to your horoscope. So, relationship stuff for you requires a spiritual element. And it requires sort of a discipline and being able to be diplomatic about things that are difficult right now. And it also is, Sagittarius is sort of like being at home more. It's funny, today was the first day while I was recording this that the sun went into Sagittarius, and it was like, I wanted to take a long walk because I could use the exercise, but it was storming really bad. I wasn't feeling that good in the morning. I put on my rain suit, went a few blocks from home, had a little bit of like, kind of like golden milk at Chico Chai. It was lovely. The Chico Chai house on 15th and Park is lovely. I'm going to give Sarah Adams a little plug there. And I just know that good things are coming, but that also it's good to see your own value. It's good to be in touch with family, particularly older relatives, the elders in your life, loving them, honoring your home, loving your home. We had the power go out. I was so grateful for my wood stove. I was grateful that I have a gas oven stove. This whole smart city electric thing, I just think it's completely bonkers, but whatever. Our higher authority oligarchs know all about how to make money off of us through climate change, Yeah, things are happening on the planet. I'm not a denier, but I also know that whenever there's a hard decision to be made, it seems to me in recent history, in my lifetime, it always falls on the working class and the middle class. It's the higher rich people that have to suffer through it. They're going to make people, especially on the bottom, the lower middle, lower class people suffer the most. And that's just a bunch of BS. They're working hard. They're helping you. Everyone's got to appreciate each other, reward one another, uplift one another. That's all. I don't want to take extra money from people, and I'm also not like into blaming people, but we can always do better. Kindness and generosity go a long way. We all affect each other. So, more happiness, more love. That's what you need to do, Virgo. And, Venus in your 5th house kind of makes you a little better lover, a little bit better creator. Pay attention to your daughters. If you're, someone with daughters, Venus in the 5th. Okay, greetings Libra, welcome to your horoscope. Sagittarius time, it's paying attention to your siblings, your neighborhood, your community, your methodology of communicating and getting information out and receiving information. And we're kind of like, especially this year with like Jupiter and Gemini, I've noticed how much overstimulation we have from like too much information. I hate looking at my emails because there's always a lot of bullshit just because I'm curious about something. Whoops. It's like, I just don't I don't want anybody. I think you know what you're talking about. And anything that gets you more in here and not in here could be a problem, potentially. So, and I know like when we go to school, we're taught about being up here. We're not taught to be in here. And, in some, churches, temples, they hopefully usually teach you to be in here more. But that's considered, horrible, and those people should be shamed because they're bad people sometimes too. It's weird. It's weird. I mean, this is the weirdest. This is the weirdest world I've ever entered in my life of lifetimes. So Libra, it's always the question is what's in the balance, and so in relationship, it's like you're dealing with people that may have incredible intelligence, but maybe some kind of shadowy motivation that's not necessarily super pure, worth looking. Venus in Capricorn, sort of like the love of being home more and fixing up your home, making it beautiful. And this weekend, it's sort of like more stay home, because Virgo for you is like 12th house. That could be losses. Great weekend for a spiritual retreat somewhere, though. That would work really well. Greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, I mean, relationships are stimulating. They're unpredictable. You're probably with somebody who's somewhat eccentric and may have even a higher intellect than the average, but it's so beyond what the common person sees that they might be thought of as just stupid or not relevant because they're seeing something maybe on a little from a way further out their perspective. And that's what the outer planets do. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, they give us this further out there perspective. And Venus in Capricorn, it's like you love. I mean, Venus is 8 houses from the 8th, so I mean, I can see it as it's kind of flirty, and it's really creative in the 3rd house. So you're getting more of that Scorpio, I create creative juice coming on strong. Well, greetings, Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope. I mean, you're the flavor of the month. And like I said, happy birthday to Jim Brobeck. Happy birthday to my brother Brian on the 23rd. And over in Cleveland, Bob Drake, Luigi. If you're by any miracle watching this, for any of my Cleveland peeps, I want to say hi and give you a birthday shout. And to all my friends, of the Sagittarius tribe that are having a birthday this week, I want to celebrate you and give you the props you deserve, okay? Jupiter in the 7th house. This is a year about relationships, how we're building relationships, how we're building career things for ourselves. And with the moon having been today in Leo, it's been sort of like, and Mars is in Leo, it's like, it's a year of adventure for you. It's like taking risks. So there's going to be a lot more risk taking this year. And I'm going to wish you a lot of success with this adventure. Just call it the year of amazing adventure. Okay. We're going to go over to Capricorn now. So Capricorn, Sagittarius time represents a 12th house transit. 12th house is a house of loss. It's a house of needing more sleep. It's a house of maybe needing to isolate yourself, not putting yourself out there as much, just kind of harvesting what happened in the last year and just kind of, seeing what worked and what didn't and being okay, paying your debts off, paying your bills off, that kind of stuff. So that you'll start your birthday season on the 21st all fresh and so clean. In the words of Android 3000, ain't nobody dope as me, I'm just so fresh and so clean. There's an element of impatience. Now this weekend looks pretty good for you actually. Like this can give you a sense of spiritual uplift. You could do some healing work with your father this weekend, with teachers, with learning, with travel. In fact, it's probably the last good weekend to travel until the 15th of December. So that's saying something right there. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Anyhow, I think it's like about working on your health and working on the neighborhood, you know, creating a better vibe among your neighbors, a better vibe with your siblings, and respecting each other's boundaries and beliefs. And I think that's enough info for now. Greetings, Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope. Now, if you're an Aquarian born on like the 21st, or even January 19th, 22nd, you know, Pluto's got that cold stare, but Pluto's also about giving you insights. And being somebody with Pluto on the ascendant, I can honestly say, you know, on my natal chart that you get a vision of things that other people can't see, and there's going to be natural jealousy and suspicion. Oh, I don't trust you. See that? You're not supposed to see that because all I can see is this, and that's all there is. Because that's all, you know. Well, that's all there is for you. I mean, how many of us have ever done an entheogen, something like mushrooms or peyote, and all of a sudden there's like this whole other world around you that exists. It's a reality, but you never noticed it before. You know, or you had, you know, you were fasting for a number of days. You had a personal experience where you felt like you encountered God. And just suddenly the world looked very different than normal. You know, that's kind of what Pluto does. And, you know, you have kind of like a partner that might be a little more feisty. You know, a lot of times 7th house shows up with open enemies. So not everybody's on your love train and your universal peace thing. But, you know, overall, what I like about you is that you're able to accept people as they are. And there's just so much healing with that. I just think, you know, a lot of times we exaggerate things, or we hear information of exaggerated threats because some larger entity feels threatened, and the larger entity can dictate a culture because they got great toys to give us. But, you know, they're not always being run efficiently. And they're also a lot of times losing their own place in the heart, like what's motivating that good cause in the first place. So we always got to get back to that and just see that there's some basic human decency in everyone. Even if they don't, you know, like the same political stuff or the same sports team, or, you know, eat the same way as you, all that stuff. It's like all that stuff at the end of the day is just trivial. And, you know, changes in your finances. A lot of it's like, you know, speaking your truth and giving. Your giving is living, and it's going to get you more finances. Well, greetings, Pisces. Well, I mean, for Pisces, I could see how this has been a very stirred up time because you have so much empathy, so much emotional sympathy and sensitivity what other people are going through. And a lot of times you get so distracted by the big picture, it's hard for you to focus on that specific picture of what needs to be done and what your responsibility is in it. You know, I could see, you know, the way people end up getting so angry at somebody just for seeing something different because it threatens their worldview. You know, and I think you're bigger than that. You're like, well, I could see why people might have that worldview. Or you're maybe smaller and you feel threatened and you're like, get a grip. Don't look at things that way. Be like me. It's not going to happen. We already are alike. It's just that you fail to see how alike we are at this moment. It's funny. But, you know, most of our suffering is caused by ourselves. You know, it's caused by that ignorance. And You know, I think for you, Sagittarius is kind of like you. It's also the midheaven. This is the way Pisces operates. This is your career stuff that's happening right now. Mercury's going to be retrograde there. Things are going to get a little wobbly at work. But you know what? Your essence is love. Your essence is being in your heart. This is where Venus gets exalted. That's your sign. So let's go out there and love like there's no tomorrow. And live like we're going to be 108. I love you. I appreciate you. You're all wonderful. Like I said, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing, because I'm trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber place. You're helping me do it. You're the best. Om Shanti 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 Om Tat Sat.